Hello. So I'm going to rank from the worst to the best. You guessed it, X-Men movies in the franchise, or and also one out of a franchise. But it's an X-Men movie, so the worst one is this one X-Men, released in 2000. The year 2000, the first time the X-Men became well known. Now, the reason why this one's the worst because this is the worst edited, therefore it's the worst story, therefore the characters feel the weakest. And the film focused heavily on Wolverine, and they don't even bother to really flesh out his characters, but they try to flesh out all the other ones, and the film seems convinced that Wolverine's just this cool guy when he's kind of a useless, bland dumbass. Sort of like Shia LaBeouf, the actor, not the actor's character he's played, the actual actor in real life. And this is a better attempt at pushing out Wolverine's character when they gave him on the first. This is also the first standalone film. Now this is how he got his claws, but not his mutant gene, because that's something you've won with. And it's also tells the story of brothers, and also the beginning of the era of the X-Men. This is a high school movie, generated acts that focus heavily on the X-Men. This is slightly better. X-Men 2 United is a lot better film. I found a better story, better character dynamics between the X-Men and the comics, and also in the two cartoons run. X-Men is all about character dynamics, and so that's what makes this one also the worst one, and all of these ones the improvement ones. And next up is Wolverine and Wolverine Unrated. Now it does focus on heavily on Wolverine, but it has character interactions. I think character interactions and character dynamics are the same thing, so I'm going to say the same thing, so you're wrong though. And but once again, Wolverine's bland, just like he is in this one, and in that one, and not to mention kind of useless. Well, at least you should. He feels more like less like a character and is just a tool to forward the plot, and that's what I mean by useless. But Hugh Jackman does give a good performance each time, and he feels like he's trying for what he was given was each time for these ones. And now this is the best one used for. This one is actually really good when they use Wolverine in this one. I really like how they use Wolverine in this one. He plays kind of like a. In this one, he actually has a personality. He has a stubborn asshole who kind of smokes cheap cigars, but deep down he's a good person. And that is kind of what Wolverine is in the comics, but the film focuses more on like the action, less on character developments, but also focus more on character development and action. You know what I'm saying? It's trying to find a balance between action and character development in flick. They're trying to get a mindless action film, but also making a deep character study. So it feels like he's struggling to find a balance, okay? Sometimes, not all the way through, not to the point where it gets to the strike, but you really pay attention, you can kind of notice it a lot. Now, Deadpool is a better X-Men film because if the character dynamics, once again, is a lot more a serious improvement from this one, which was at the time the best X-Men film. I think it came out in 2006. So, oh shit. No, wait, I didn't skip one. I didn't. Whoopsie. No, first class is on there. And yeah, all these other ones are better than Last Stand. Is just that ranking worst to best in terms of quality. Except X-Men Wolverine's Origins. That film was not best. That was a big step down. It's feel like it was a step back into the early 2000s when he had no personality. Next is Days of Future Past, and this is a step up and a step down. Well, it has something to do with Wolverine. He just feels like he's there in the film, and he's mostly just like he has no personality, and he's sort of bland in this one, and he's not used to further the plot at all. So the film is clearly that they just put him in there because they didn't have that face in the film. At least that's the impression you get in the theatrical cut. It just feels like they didn't know what to do with the plot that was necessary for Wolverine and the plot in the film, and that's just the theatrical cut. I'm going to get into the director's cut quicker. Now, next is Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix. This is Jean Grey's story, who got very seriously underdeveloped in the original X-Men trilogy. And in fact, who got less screen time than Kitty Pryde, I think. Come to think of it. Just realized that. Or any of the Brotherhood members. So, but she's played by a very talented actress, and Last Stand, and she just feels like she actually does feel like she has a personality. Now it feels like she's struggling between her split personality and also her real self, and controlling her powers for herself and not letting her split personality control the powers for her. It feels like she's struggling who's behind the wheel in the film. Yeah, I wish the Last Stand dived more into that, and instead of focusing heavily on Logan, it should have focused heavily on Jean Grey. It should have done that. Now this film is what I kind of wanted from Last Stand, because it focused heavily on Jean Grey. She doesn't have a split personality in this one. She just gets this power from this meteor that amplifies her power and gives her incredible power, and she's all feels great and stuff. And all that good stuff. Next one is X-Men Days of Future Past the road cut. Now this shows more of, in this one we see Raven, also known as Mystique. use Beast just so she, at first looks like she's about to get home, wants to go home and leave all this stuff behind her and just want to be home. So she kind of used Beast and sabotage Cerebro. So, and also we see, we also, what really makes this, which I really liked, there's only two major differences between this one and the other one. So, also, Rogue is in it, and that's why they probably call it the Rogue cut, because she was actually cut from the film, but actually further the plot and gave Wolverine a purpose to exist in the plot of the film. Because Kate Pye was holding Logan's body farther back in time, but she's not powerful enough and she's mortally wounded. But guess who it is? Rogue. Good old Rogue, who was, they had a very close relationship in the past 3 X-Men films, and it really showed that was one of the highlights of the past 3 X-Men films. In fact, that was like #1 highlight for me, I think, for the first 3 X-Men films. I really like the instruments they had together. And Wolverine hears her voice when she says, "Hello, Logan," and he remembers that voice, and it says Rogue. So he knows that Rogue's got his back. And so, next is, now, before we go any further, Logan does not have this much personality in Days of Future Past, but he has some personality. I think the reason why, he does have personality, but I think the reason why it feels like he doesn't have much personality is because over the course of franchise, they never really showed his personality evolve, or he had any, or he was any useful to most of the X-Men films. So the fact that they show him he's a tired old man and he's trying to keep a cool head, and as you know, he still has anger, and a man that like sort of still have anger issues, but trying to keep calm so he can stay in the moment. And so nothing gets messed up with him trying. So you get that feeling in the Rogue cut, but not really in the theatrical cut. So anyway, that's why I think the Rogue cut better. Plus, there was a little more team dynamics if you watch it, if you have memory I do. So pretty good when I have them. And next up is Logan. Now this was completely worse all the times he teased Wolverine's personality and barely showed him evolve over the course of 2 outruns of each film. Anyway, then this one, we clearly see exactly what I expected Wolverine from the comics to be like this movie. But not Hugh Jackman's run on Wolverine in this movie. I didn't expect him to be like that, though. Because when we really look like at the history, it's subtle, a change, but also feels kind of out of nowhere when we really start to think about after if you've seen all the X-Men films. It's his personality is kind of out of nowhere because it has so much flavor and awesomeness, that makes it beautifully unique to a point. It doesn't even feel like Hugh Jackman running on Wolverine. So I'm surprised a lot of people like this film because it doesn't even feel like a Hugh Jackman Wolverine movie. It just feels like a straight up comics Wolverine, which that's kind of the reason why I like it so much. But I felt like people want waiting for the real Wolverine, to see him cinematically. but I guess I was wrong. So because anyway, that's all I gotta say. Next is X-Men Apocalypse. Now Wolverine doesn't play any part, but you do see him a cameo kicking ass, and you gotta he's played. He's not Logan in this one. He's Wolverine in this one. He's played Weapon X, and Wolverine does a good job playing that. He's in this one. He's portraying Wolverine as a in this one how he should be portrayed as a mindless animal because he has no memory of himself left because he was experimented on. And this has the best character dynamics between all these ones, and it's a Mystique arc, and when Mystique kind of it gets morally ruined by Apocalypse, is a very sad thing, even more sad than when Logan got morally wounded. I'm not going to tell you if she dies or not. I'm also not going to tell you if Wolverine dies or not in Logan. For those who haven't seen one of these great films, but yeah, now these two films I like. Apocalypse, I think Apocalypse is a better film, but these two are very close. Next up is Deadpool 2. Now this is an alright better film, and Deadpool 2 super duper cut. Now I'm going to talk about both of them. This super cut does a better job have 100% of Deadpool's personality right, while the theatrical cut only has 99% of his personality. And they show more character dynamics in Deadpool 2, the super cut, than in the first theatrical cut of Deadpool 2. What's the train about there? Not that the theatrical cut doesn't do a good job, amazing job, I mean. But if you really want to know which is the best of the best, it will be Deadpool 2, the Super Dude cut, is the closest we're going to get as of right now to well, a X-Men movie that feels like X-Men movie because sorry. So now the thing what I like about Deadpool 2, I'm talking about World's version of Deadpool 2, that the X-Men, there's very little X-Men group of X-Men, there's like 4 X-Men members. The fourth one is Deadpool. He becomes an ex-trainee, X-Men member, but he's a trainee, and the character dynamics is perfect. Actually, the only problem with this though is the problem is it would be perfect. The best it would be a good X-Men film if the movie wasn't about Deadpool, but about the X-Men, and Deadpool made an appearance in it. Not that there's anything wrong with what it was, because I loved it, but I'm more of an X-Men fan than a Deadpool fan. So, and X-Men is my favorite comic run of any comic. So, yeah, this is my thought. I really love Deadpool 2. It's one of the best comic films I have ever seen. I highly recommend it, and it's including the super cut, which shows more jokes, more characters of film, more character flaws. And more emotional. And that's all I gotta say. Bye.